I call the member for Vaucluse and Attorney General.
Mr Assistant Speaker, I welcome the opportunity to support the Impounding Amendment Unattended Boat Trailer Parking Bill 2015. Look, this is not a confusing bill. It's addressing a practical issue and it's striking a balance. And I welcome this bill because it's a problem that has been long-standing in both harbourside and coastal electorates. And this is a good solution to all the balancing of interests that need to be made. The government has recognised that the increase in boat trailer ownership and boats across New South Wales has impacted the parking amenity for residents, and particularly in an electorate like mine. I'm one of the few electorates in Sydney that has a coastal side and a harbour side. And a harbour side, of course, tends to attract many more people from around Sydney because of the unique aspect that offers people to enjoy. The use of streets as long-term boat storage facility is unacceptable, and that's what I've seen in my own electorate. Parking is so scarce in metropolitan Sydney, particularly around the harbour. And I believe the council ranges, which is what this bill proposes, should have the ability to manage parking issues for motor vehicles, as they currently do, but also for boats and boat trailers alike. I've had local residents raise concerns about this issue for all the time that I've been a Member of Parliament, so since 2011. And I have consistently written to the Minister for Roads and Freight, making the point that there needed to be a solution that would address the problem, but create a balance between those who use the beaches and the harbour for amenity and the local residents who do that as well. There's no disagreement, I think, across the House as to the impacts which these boats and boats trailers have in our community. They deny access to people's homes at times and their driveways. They impact the ability of local members, local residents to park in their local area. And there are safety and visibility issues that come from the size of some of these vehicles. And granted, our local area commands have powers to move those vehicles on where they're over a certain size and create a safety aspect. Any vehicle, any boat or trailer that is less than that size, there is no ability to move those boats or boat trailers on. I think that local councils should be able to manage boats and boats trailers parked on local streets, and particularly where those trailers are parked in positions where there is an impact on safety first and amenity second, although both of those things are important to local residents. As with motor vehicles, has long-standing been the case, now council officers, if the bill is passed, can impound a boat trailer or a boat where they believe on reasonable grounds that that boat or trailer has been abandoned or is unattended. Now, that is the current situation. But that enforcement power has proved ineffectual and it doesn't go far enough. I have seen councils, when I've made representations on behalf of my local community, get stuck in a very lengthy investigation to prove that a trailer has been abandoned, while that boat trailer during that time continues to impact on the amenity and safety of my local residents. As for the member for Strathfield saying there hasn't been consultation, well, she may not have been in the House then, but there's been a number of years of consultation in community with local councils, including one of my councils and other councils that were directly impacted by this issue, and the process has been a good one. There was a survey that was undertaken by that boat trailer working group that led to this reform, so it's been a good process. And for example, in the area in which I represent of Sydney, it showed that 186 boat trailers kept on the streets of one of my municipal areas, Wallara local government area, were owned by local people. They apparently were similar statistics to those in other local government areas close to Sydney Harbour. So what we have is a large proportion of boats and boat trailers in my local area owned by residents. So that is why this bill is an important and practical one, because it strikes a balance between those who live in the area and want to park their boats close to their homes and the foreshore and the beaches they want to use. But it also recognises there are other people that come to my community and leave their boats and boat trailers there in the meantime so that it's easier for them to come back when they want to access the harbour or the beaches. So that is why this bill is a practical, well thought through solution that has had extensive consultation over a number of years, and which I'm pleased to welcome into this House. My local residents at present, in the absence of the powers that would be given to local councils in this bill, are losing valuable amenity to other residents' boats, trailers and boats, and also to non-residents who park their boats within my local area. I think that's unfair, and this is why creating a movement with boats and boat trailers in local areas is going to be a better way to give councils back the power to move what are scarce parking spaces and share that amongst visitors and also local residents. Mr Acting Speaker, enforcement officers will be able to move those parked boats and boat trailers on when they've been unmoved for a period of time, and this will send a very clear message to boat owners and boat trailer owners that local residents and ratepayers won't accept their streets being used for long-term boat and boat trailer facility storage. It remains appropriate for boat owners to make use of local streets when using their boats, but I don't think the local community should have to endure the long-term loss of amenity and reduction in the safety that comes from the long-term storage of boats on our streets. I welcome the commitment to a storage facility that the Minister has made, so that there is a dedication of millions of dollars towards a facility that is central to the city where these boats could be stored beyond the period that this legislation will provide. I would welcome, as a number of members before this House have mentioned, the extension of these powers to other trailers. We all know the same issues arise with advertising trailers, trailers that belong to fitness companies that are parked long-term on our streets, and they create a similar amenity and safety impact, which I would welcome the extension of these powers for councils to have. So, Mr Acting Speaker, this bill is a responsible solution to a problem. It is a balanced solution to a problem that's been around for a long time. No solution of government balancing all those interests will satisfy either interests of local boat owners, local residents who aren't boat owners, and visitors to my electorate who are boat owners. Will give all of those parties everything they want. That is not practical. This is a good balance. It gives my local councils and their enforcement officers much stronger powers to manage the boats and boat trailers on my local streets, and it demonstrates this government's strong commitment to improving the amenity and safety of New South Wales communities. I welcome the bill and I commend the bill to the House.